Hey everybody, hope you had a good weekend. It's Sunday afternoon, June 29th, and I wanted to do just a quick report video from this weekend. I did not fish this morning, but I did fish yesterday on Saturday, June 28th, and me and a good friend put a nice box together, and so I figured I would just go through what worked well for us, what we observed, and then also look ahead this week just to see what the weather's looking like leading into the weekend of the 4th. So Saturday morning, we launched out of South Shore, Milwaukee. We launched at about 4 a.m. and we shot north. And the reason that we went north right away is because I noticed on the Seagull app, which is gives you buoy information, wave information, water temperature information, that there was a nice cold patch of water just sitting north of the towers in Milwaukee yesterday morning. And so this time of year, as the ambient air is heating up that surface water and pushing that thermocline down, we're always looking for that cold water to hold fish. And we set up in about 90 feet of water and trolled northeast. And we tried to keep a pattern between 90 feet, maybe 110, and kind of zigzag back through that water throughout the morning. We were running a mixture of spoons and flasher flies, all at about 2.3 to 2.4 speed at the ball. In terms of currents, I didn't notice a bunch of currents like we've seen the past couple of weeks. I've noticed a few times where I'm trolling on the surface at, let's just use an even number, 2 miles an hour on the surface, that would have correlated to speeds at the ball where my downrigger is, anywhere from 1.5 miles an hour all the way up to 2.5. And so that variation in that half mile an hour difference was not present yesterday. With a northeast troll, I mean, we were maintaining a pretty good speed. If we were 2.3, 2.4 on top, we were also 2.3, 2.4 on the bottom. So to me, that indicates that maybe that current was moving west or east. We were moving north and south. And so there really wasn't a huge impact trolling in that direction. So I wasn't sure if spoons or flasher flies were going to be the ticket yesterday. With the warmer water, I tend to think that flasher flies with just a little bit slower troll would be the ticket. But then again, I was out last week and it seemed like we couldn't even buy a bite on a flasher fly, and spoons were doing all the damage. So this spoon here, I believe it's a Pro King spoon. I actually don't know what it's called, so I'm not going to lie and pretend that I do. But this has done really well for us the last couple of trips, and this was a star yesterday as well. In addition to that, one of my favorites, and I guess all of yours at home it's a favorite too. This is the Pro King. This is a green Dragon Slayer. I've used a lot of these in the last couple of weeks, and I mean they just continue to produce fish. And then they also worked in some blue into the color pattern this weekend. So this one here is another Pro King flasher, and we got some blues and whites. This one worked well for us yesterday too. So after we set up in about 90 feet of water, the first rip came on a downrigger. I looked over and it was bouncing. I haven't had a chance to set up any cameras yet. I really wanted to film a video yesterday, but the fish started biting before I could get anything set up. So a downrigger popped. That was on a flasher fly. I believe it was down 50 feet. And so that was our first fish of the morning. It was about a 10, maybe 11, 12 pound king. But a nice 3-year-old, and before we could even get that other line back in the water, I had a dipsy take off on this side here. Again, that was on a Pro King Dragon Slayer flasher fly, a 1 setting on a number 1 dipsy, back about 130 feet. So that one was the first double of the day. Throughout the morning, we went on to pick up 2 more kings for a total of 4 kings, and then we picked up 3 coho in between. We really weren't targeting the coho, but they were it seemed that they were interspersed throughout the water column and hitting stuff that was down 60 and hitting stuff that was down about 35. So there's still some coho around. None of the kings were outstanding. We had fun. We had a really nice time. I have nothing against a 3-year-old king, but we had nothing that really tipped the scales or was anything to really write home about. But all in all, it was a great morning. It was calm. The bugs weren't present, so we didn't have to worry about flies biting or landing on the boat. So all in all, it was just a wonderful time, and always good catching up with a good friend. So looking forward though to this weekend, July 4th, I know a lot of folks are going to be off from work, and it's going to be a great opportunity to get out and do some fishing. I think the lake is actually going to set up pretty well for us out of Milwaukee. I can't say the same for the folks on the Michigan side, but here on the west side of the lake, we are expecting some west winds in the forecast starting tomorrow and going into Tuesday and maybe even Wednesday. So that being said, that west wind is going to push the warm surface water out towards the middle of the lake, and it's going to well up the cold water that's been sitting at the bottom of the lake near shore for us. And what that means for us fishermen is that we might have a pretty predictable thermocline and a lot of good water to be fishing. So you don't have to actually go north or south to target cool pockets. We should just be able to go right out, right by the towers, set up and get started. So I'm going to keep my eye on that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fish this weekend. I'll probably be heading north for the weekend in northern Wisconsin to spend some time with friends and family. But to everyone that will be fishing on the 4th, be safe, have fun, catch some fish. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's reports on Facebook this weekend. I know the big kings are starting to show up, and the anticipation for Salmonorama is also starting to tick up for me. I know for others as well. So that's all I've got. That's all I've got for this short report. Hope you enjoy. If you have questions or comments, or if I forgot anything, just comment down below and I'll get back to you. So appreciate everybody. Have a great week.